Bang, bang. We're back again for another UFC predictions breakdown, whatever you want to call it. We're going to go into the card and I'm going to give you some banging bets, hopefully. I had to do the double bang today because we're coming off a double banging week. Massive weekend last weekend at UFC Vegas 88. This weekend we got UFC Vegas 89. There's 89 events in Vegas since COVID. Hell of a lot of events. Hell of a lot of money has been made. And hopefully we're going to do this the same this weekend. I honestly feel very good about my picks again this weekend. It's kind of been a theme of the year. There's been a couple of weekends where I haven't felt great about my picks. One specifically I have in mind was the Umar Nurmagomedov card. I can't remember who headlined that card. It was the one with Mokaev. And I didn't do great on that card. I lost 3 units, I think 2.85 units, kept it very light, had about 3 or 4 bets where I usually have about 15 or so each weekend. But other than that, I felt good about my reads over the entire year. And it's kind of played out for the most part. We've crushed the entire year. We have made so much profit for the entire year. And obviously we have had losing events. I had a massive losing event at UFC 299. I spoke about that in depth. Made a video about it on my channel just to show you that we do lose. Cappers do lose a lot. And the main thing is that we stay calm, we relax, we understand that we're not going to win every single weekend. We dust ourselves off after a loss and we come back and we win more. So we've won the majority of events this year. I've won the majority of events overall. And I think this weekend's going to be a good event, boys. I've got a lot of bets on the line. And a lot of bets waiting to be played, I should say. You know, I'm waiting on certain lines and moving in my favor. So I'm just going to wait. I'm going to let them go. As I did with Christian Rodriguez last week, you know, I was going to play him, but the line kept on getting bigger. So I just waited, man. I waited until like Thursday or Friday until I played him when the line kind of met some resistance. And then I got him at plus 165, which I believed was just under the best price that I could have got him for, you know. So I did my job there. And that's what I'm doing this weekend. I got 4 bets on. I got 1 max bet and I got 1 big bet. And currently I'm 34-3 on max bets. And on big bets, I don't even know the record, but it's fucking huge as well. So I think we're going to go 35-3 this weekend. I'm very confident in my max bet, of course. Otherwise, I wouldn't have maxed it. And yeah, man, without further ado, we'll get into the card. I'm going to do the main card for you today, as I always do. If you want to see a full card breakdown, then don't worry. Once we go to the Parlay Madness show, which will be in a couple of days, I will do a full card breakdown, as I always do with my guy Jewish Better over there. And I'll bring up my screen so everyone can see it, and we're going to get straight into it, boys. First of all, shout out to everyone here. I know it's a little bit late, so apologies for being a little bit late in terms of the timing. I know a lot of the Americans, it's a little bit late for them now. It's 9 p.m. They're settling down. They're not watching content. You know, when I go live early, I get a lot more views, but it is what it is. We still have 121 live viewers in here, so shout out to everyone. I hope I made you a lot of money last week, because last week we fucking crushed it differently. I predicted every single fight last week except for one, and that was the Kennedy and Nzechukwu fight against OSP, man. So yeah, I know a lot of people made a lot of money last week based on my predictions, so hopefully you did too. What is the most confident pick? The show doesn't work like that, brother. Just listen to the show, please. Fight Club, thoughts on Luke Trainer versus Grant Neal. It's not a Bellator show, but we may get into that at the end of the show if we have some time. Maybe I'll speak a little bit about Bellator. Bellator is this weekend too, and we will have a lot of Bellator. So yeah, we got Max Blanco, we got Pierre, we got Leon Edwards in the chat. Shout out to you, bro. Well done on your recent title defense against Colby. Bang, bang, we're on. Hit nearly 50 units last weekend. That's massive. Dennis is saying, Bon dia, starting the day with a live today. Let's go, brother. We've got a lot of people in here. I'm going to shout out to everyone else soon. But first of all, going to get straight into the card. My man in the UK, 5 a.m. Shout out to you, brother. I'm going to make sure to give you some jewels since you're watching at 5 a.m. So, yeah, first fight on this main card is actually one of the fights where I've done the least amount of research in the entire fight card. So, apologies for that. But yeah, I've researched this fight ever so slightly. I remember I cashed on Fernando Padilla as an underdog against Julian Erosa, who is also on this card. And the reason I played him there was because I knew Julian Erosa puts his head face first into punches. And Padilla's a technical striker and he holds some power, man. So that was a very easy click for me there. It was more of like a system play. which is kind of crazy because obviously I think a lot of the market was on Erosa in that spot, but obviously we see the game a little bit differently to most people, and that's why we're able to cash a lot of money. And I did that there with Padilla. Then in his fight of Nelson, completely passed on it. He shit the bed there a little bit. I mean, he's got all the tools to beat Carl Nelson, but he didn't get it done. A little bit gassed out a little bit in that fight. And Puello, I mean, this guy's an absolute lunatic. You know, I made one of the worst bets I've ever done, which was on Robbie Ring against him in the Dana White's Contender Series. It was just a bad bet for me. I've got nothing else to say about it. You know, I saw him choke out. Who did Robbie Ring choke out just before he got the Contender Series shot? That ex-UFC guy. He's not a very good guy, but I can't remember his name. I don't remember his name. But he choked him out. Robbie Ring choked him out. And I thought, you know what? That's more than Puello's ever showed me. Let me back him here. Puello's just a nutter. But Robbie Ring turned out to not be the guy I thought he was. Massive flaked in the first round. I thought if Puello won, it would definitely be later rounds. So to get a first round finish, massively surprised on that. But it was more down to Robbie Ring. I don't really think it was down to Puello. I just had a bad read on Ring, evidently. And so I think in this fight, maybe, let me see the betting lines actually, because I'm not 100% sure of the betting lines. Because this really does come down to the betting lines here. Because if Puello's, I don't think Puello's a favorite. I can't remember what I saw. Yeah, Padilla's a minus 160 favorite. It's not the worst of all time. Like, I would make Padilla a favorite. I think he's got the better 15-minute game. I think he's a little bit more put together. But Puello's a nutter. I don't know much about him. Obviously, I had a bad read on him on the Contender Series, so I'm not that confident in my read overall. And like I said, man, I'm not. I haven't done that much research on this fight. So I did watch the Puello-Robbie Ring fight again. I went to watch Padilla tape, and I was like, I can't be bothered. I just moved on to doing another task. Sometimes I just literally can't be bothered, and that's just me being completely honest and open. If I can't be bothered to do tape, I won't do it. I'll push it later to the later in the day or something. I watched Padilla knock out Erosa, and then I was like, all right, let me just do something else. I can't be bothered. By that point, I'd already taped about 3 fights. So I ain't going to say too much about this fight other than what I've already said. I'd make Padilla the favorite, like I said. I think that Puello only fights one way, so I would look to some form of under in this fight as well. I don't really need to do too much tape to believe that under should be the spot. But we'll see what the odds are for that, boys. So the under 1.5 rounds, yeah. So the fight ends inside the distance is minus 190. Potentially, it's not the worst of all time. But yeah, once I do a little bit more tape, I'll be able to make a true decision on what type of bet I'm going to play. I'm going to play the ends ITD. Do I think the Padilla ITD is a little bit better, or Padilla KO potentially? Padilla KO at the moment sitting at plus 235. You know, now you're giving me a lot better than a minus 190. Obviously, we're picking a fighter, but there's many things we can do with this fight. I'm going to pick Padilla to get it done overall because I think he's got the better 15-minute game. And I do think that he has some power, and Puello obviously puts himself in danger basically every single fight. So, yeah, man, what else we got? Next fight on the card, we have Billy Quarantillo versus Youssef Zalal. So the first thing I want to say about this fight is it's very interesting to me that the line isn't wider. So based on what I know about the market, based on what I know about MMA, based on what I know about the MMA betting market, which is not sharp, you know, no, how can I put this? Most of the market is not sharp in every sport, right? There's certain groups and certain individuals that make the market sharp, but overall, the market is not sharp, right? Like 99% of people betting into these markets are not sharp. Now, the actual market where the lines close are sharp because the bookmakers know what action to respect. Their bookmakers don't move their lines from someone betting $10, right? So the market tends towards being sharp. But based on what I know about the market, I did think that most people would be jumping on Billy Q here. And I did think we'd see Billy Q at about a minus 200 favorite. Now, that's not what we're seeing, right? Billy Q, I do believe he got bet down a little bit, but I do think actually it came back the other way this morning, if I remember correctly. So I checked the betting lines this morning, like I do almost every morning, as long as I'm not busy doing something else. And yeah, I saw Billy had come down to a minus 140, but I saw him at minus 170 or minus 160 at one point. So He opened the minus 300 favorite, and then he went minus 185, instantly bet down to minus 140, right? And this is where I saw him, minus 140 range. And I thought, okay, he'll probably drift out to minus 200 based on what I know about the market. But boy, was I wrong. He did go to minus 160 at one point, which is what I thought he would do. And I was like, okay, I was correct. What I know about the market is right. The line's going to start to move to Billy now. He's gone from minus 140 to minus 150 to minus 160. And then I woke up this morning and the guy was minus 140 again. So then obviously someone's been betting Yusuf Zalal, and I'm thinking to myself, damn, I was wrong about this one. I'm not right about line movement all the time. Sometimes I'm wrong, sometimes I'm right. Admittedly, I'm not the best of all time at judging the line movement. Usually I'm pretty good because whatever I bet on, the line moves towards that bet. So just based on my own reads, I know what the line is going to move to. But I'm not always correct, and I was definitely incorrect based on this one. But I think that's very telling, right? I think that the reason Billy Quarantillo is minus it. I think the reason people are betting Yusuf Zalal is a valid reason. I think stylistically, he's the much better striker. I think if you go back and watch his fights, he's a very good takedown defense artist. Even if he gets taken down, he's going to keep working up to his feet. He's very, very durable. Like Ilia Topuria hit him with a couple of shots. He kind of stands back and almost shoulder rolls some of those shots. And Ilia Topuria had him in insane amount of submissions, could never submit him. He's very, very, very good at staying alive, right? Which is what you need to do if you're fighting Billy Q, right? Because Billy Q is obviously going to come forward and he's going to try and kill you. So I understand, why people are betting Zalal. I think there's some stylistic advantages for him. Is there any value in a slight underdog? At the end of the day, man, Billy Q is going to do what he always does. Billy Q ain't going to stop coming forward. Billy Q is going to win the volume battle here. Billy Q is going to win the octagon control battle here. And if Billy Q doesn't get knocked out, there's no way he doesn't get a couple of takedowns on Zalal and make it a grindy fight. I mean, that's 100% facts on what's going to happen. But I do think that Zalal can maybe maintain range and land a couple of good strikes on the feet. And as we've seen time and time again, week after week, the judges are not valuing control anymore. They're valuing damage. And I do think there is a world in which Zalal wins this fight based on damage, even though I don't think he does that much damage himself. He's still a very good fighter, I believe, Yusuf Zalal, man. So, yeah, I think there might be some value on Yusuf Zalal here, but I'm not 100% sure where I'm going to bet him. A few people in the chat, my man JB saying he bet Zalal. I felt like I would be getting a better price on Zalal. And yeah, I don't know. I don't have much more to say about it, boys. I'm going to take some time to decide on what I want to do about it. I think the fight's going over. So, fight GTD at minus 225. I don't think it's crazy. I think the over 2.5 maybe in a Billy Q fight, just because Billy Q pushes such a crazy pace. So yeah, man. I don't really have too much more to say about that one. Peyton Talbert versus Cameron Simon. This is the main event of the evening, apparently. So Steph saying, does Zalal being on 2-week notice scare you at all? Well, if I was betting Zalal, it would, for sure. It definitely makes a big difference, especially fighting someone like Billy Quarantillo, who we know is going to push a pace. So coming on a short notice against someone who's going to have an outside kickboxing fight with you doesn't matter too much. But coming in on 2 weeks' notice against someone like Billy Q, it most certainly matters. It's going to make things hard for Zalal because obviously his cardio isn't going to be up to perfect peak scratch. Even if he's, been training a lot, still not going to be peaking at the time that he would be if he had a full camp for this. So yeah, for sure, it definitely affects this. Elite saying these line movements have been weird so far for this card. Yeah, there has been a lot of line movement for this card for sure. A lot of line movement as opposed to some other cards, which is quite interesting. I'm not 100% sure why. I guess I'm part of the reason for that. Also, I have a lot of strong takes. I guess people have a lot of strong takes on this card. Maybe the liquidity is obviously a bit lower early in the week, but it is every single week. Jevin's saying, you called the C-Rod win last card. I should have took your advice. Yeah, very close fight, man. You should have, but you didn't. But it is what it is, bro. Peyton Talbert fight week. Yes, let's go, brother. We got Peyton Talbert in the chat. Is that ain't even, who is that? That ain't Peyton Talbot. No, that's not. Is that Alex Caceres? Who is that Alex Caceres? That's not Alex Caceres, is it? Who is this? Who is that in your thing? It looks like a mix between Peyton Talbot and Alex Caceres. Fubu's saying it was a great video. Not that you need to explain yourself, but it helped me learn more about pre-post fight lines. Yeah, I think Fubu's talking about the video I did that I mentioned earlier where I went over my losses. And in that video, I didn't just want to go over my losses, but I wanted to give some takeaways for the viewers. And I think a big distinction that we have to make in sports betting, and here we go, one of my rants that I give out every single video. One of the big distinctions we have to make in sports betting is that the line post-fight, how can I put this in a more eloquent way? So we have to understand when we're betting on sports and we're betting on MMA specifically, that no matter what the fighter looked like post-fight, it doesn't always translate to what we knew about them pre-fight, right? And I'll explain this. So Francis Ngannou versus Cyril Gane, right? Post-fight, Francis Ngannou looked about a -250 favorite because Cyril Gane can't stop the wrestling, right? So Francis Ngannou is just always going to wrestle him if he needs to, right? Post-fight, he looked the massive favorite. But pre-fight, there was no way of knowing that Francis Ngannou was able to wrestle Cyril Gane. Now, a few people are going to cope if they bet on Francis Ngannou. A few people are going to try and come out and be clever clogs and say stuff like, he did reverse Stipe Miocic that one time, so we knew he could wrestle Cyril Gane. No, I've been betting on MMA for 10 years, and there was no way that we could have accurately predicted that Francis Ngannou would be able to wrestle fuck Cyril Gane in the championship rounds to win that fight. There was no data suggesting that, right? So I believe that pre-fight Cyril Gane at -110 was definitely the correct bet, not Francis Ngannou, even though the true line is Francis Ngannou -250, right? So there's a massive distinction about pre and post fight, because I see a lot of people online and they say, oh no, you know, it looked like he should have been -300. Yeah, post fight, but not pre-fight. Another one is Farid Basharat versus Taylor Lapillus, right? Farid Basharat looked -400 post fight, but pre-fight, we could never project him to shoot 21 takedowns and never gas out. That's absolutely insanity. That is literally Merab Dvalishvili pace, something we've almost never seen in the octagon before. Yet he did it. So post-fight, he looked -400, but pre-fight, you could only make him about -180, -190. And it actually played out in the fight because the striking was basically 50-50, but Farid just Merab Dvalishvili'd him. So that's a little rant for you today, boys. Pre-fight and post-fight are two completely different things. And if you want to be the best sports bettor you can be, you have to understand these two and make a distinction between them two when you're analyzing your bets post-fight. Because everyone will always do that. Oh, my fighter looked -200 there. Yeah, but based on what? Based on some random shit that you couldn't have predicted. I can't remember what fighter I bet on before, but they won the fight via grappling, but I bet on them because of striking. And they look -200. But it's like, I didn't predict them to win. You know what? I did it in the Danny Silva versus Joshua Culibao fight. Danny Silva won that fight via grappling, right? So even though it looks like an amazing bet on Danny Silva at +160, I did not project him to win the fight via grappling. To be honest, striking-wise, he was losing the fight. Or at least it was like 50-50 or 55-45 Culibao. So while on the surface, Danny Silva at +160 looks like a good bet, it was only a good bet because of the grappling. And I guess the cardio discrepancy came into play in the third round a little bit, but I'm not going to shout from the hilltop saying, yes, Danny Silva, what a great bet by me, because he won it through a means that I couldn't really project him to win it through on tape for the most part. It's not the best example because, you know, Culibao did get taken down. Danny had got a takedown or two before on tape, but like, that's the most recent example that I can give you that kind of makes sense. That is one that I'm actually holding my hands up and saying it wasn't a great bet. So, you know, I've gone through round the houses there, boys, but I always like to give you the realness about sports betting, not just Peyton Talbert's going to win this weekend or some bullshit, because every other motherfucker in the world is going to do that. And if you want that only, get off my channel and go and watch them. Big ups to you. Bang. All right, my man Pierre is saying, if you're not in the elite zone, sign up and do yourself a favor. Yeah, boys. If you ain't in the elite zone of my website, sign up and do yourself a motherfucking favor, because you're losing out on a lot of money, you know? Bang. All right, what else we got? That's Peyton. Is that Peyton Talbert? I don't think that is. Who is that, bro? All right, maybe it is Peyton Talbert. What about the 3 straight fights that Zalal... 3 straight fight on last Zalal event that he was scheduled? What? What about the 3 straight fight on Zalal event that he was scheduled? What else we got going on here? The Rose line, yeah, we'll get to that. Simon getting it done. Talbot walk forward, punching. Cameron going to have some sort of game plan. All right, so let's get into it, boys. Peyton Talbot versus Cameron Simon. Great fight. Both fighters are young in the game, and both fighters are young in general. We've got a 23-year-old coming up against a 25-year-old here. Peyton Talbot's massive for the division. He's going to have a 2-inch height advantage here and a 3-inch reach advantage. I do think we'll see that play out in the fight, but it's very interesting because Talbot is massive for the division, has a massive range, but he doesn't fight with his reach advantage. He walks forward into range and tries to trade in the pocket. It's not very often when we see someone that has a massive reach advantage or is very big for the division fight in the pocket, right? So he's a very interesting guy just from that. I famously said on social media that Peyton Talbot could compete with Sean O'Malley today, and I still firmly believe that. I believe that if Peyton Talbot fought Sean O'Malley, it would be an absolute war after round 3 onwards. I think Sean would probably look beautiful for a couple of rounds, and then I think distance would be closed and it would turn into a dramatic war. And I think a lot of people would be very surprised on what Peyton Talbot could do in there. It doesn't mean that he's going to beat Cameron Simon. It doesn't mean that he's going to beat any other fighter he fights, because I had a lot of morons saying, he's going to get beat by Nick Aguirre this weekend. How could he beat Sean O'Malley? He's going to get beaten by Nick Aguirre. But just because he can fight Sean O'Malley doesn't mean he's going to fight everyone in the division, right? I think Murad Dvalishvili would take him down a million times. Like, styles make fights. And I think that Sean O'Malley and Peyton Talbot, stylistically, they match up very well. I think Cameron Simon and Peyton Talbot match up very well. I think it's going to be a very good fight. I think both fighters are going to land hella damage. I think Peyton Talbot's going to land over 100 strikes in this fight. I think Cameron Simon is probably going to land over 100 strikes in this fight. I think it's going to be an all-out war. I think we're in for a treat this weekend. I don't think either fighter will shoot takedowns. If anyone shoots takedowns, I think it might be Cameron Simon, just because I've seen him do it a little bit more. So, yeah, man, I think Peyton Talbot's the deserved favorite in this fight. I see the lines move to Peyton Talbot heavily, and I agree with the line movement. I think that the story of this fight is going to be damage and visuals and power and durability. I think that they're very similar in terms of the output they can put, but I think that they're not similar in terms of the durability they have, in terms of the power they have in their strikes, and just in terms of the pace, pressure, and the amount of damage they can withstand and inflict. I think Peyton Talbot, I think his chin is insanity, and I don't think Cameron Simon is going to hurt him that much, whereas I do think Peyton Talbot can hurt Cameron Simon. I think Cameron Simon's face is going to be cut open, and I think Cameron's going to be bleeding a lot, whereas I don't really think we're going to see a scratch on Peyton's face. You know, I mean, maybe, but I've never seen it to this point in his career. I think I've seen him cut slightly once, but I've seen him take the craziest shots of all time, and his durability is absolute insanity, and he just keeps on walking forward. So I think that Cameron Simon, I think there's a cardio advantage for Peyton Talbot as well. So yeah, I just feel like damage, visuals, pace, pressure, and cardio is going to be a story of this fight, and I think Peyton's going to get his hand raised, probably by decision. Cameron seems very tough. You know, Peyton finishes all the guys in the 3rd round, but Cameron seems extremely tough, so I wouldn't be surprised if Cameron lost to a decision here. I think the 1st round's going to be close, and I think Peyton will pull away in round 2 and round 3 and probably win a decision. Pierre saying Peyton started training 6 years ago. Cameron's been training since young. Peyton, bigger penis. Look at the shorts. You can see it, that giant hog. Peyton paints his nails and wears shoe lifts. So this is the real capping going on right now, boys. We see this is the real capping. Shout out to the 469 live viewers with me right now. Simon with the wrestling gets it done. Do you think his wrestling is good enough to take down Peyton Talbert and hold him down? I don't think it is. I think he'll get like a quick takedown, but it'll mean nothing because he'll get straight back up to his feet, Peyton, and probably land a couple of shots in the clinch. So I don't actually think his wrestling is good enough. Maybe if he takes the back, he can steal around that way. But yeah, I don't think he can take him down and hold him down personally. Same and different gravy. Peyton smug. Too much preaching. Back to the fight card, brother. Okay, Lenny, you've got your definition of preaching wrong because I wasn't preaching, my brother. I was trying to educate you about actual sports betting and trying to tell you how you can make money moving forward. Now, if you don't want to listen to that, then you can listen to the guys in the chat who are telling you what it is, you know. I mean, I ain't trying to be rude, Lenny, but I mean, the fact of the matter is people are saying what they say, so yeah. What else we got? Peyton gonna whip his hog out. Okay, brother. So funny. Andrew's coping hard about his max bet on Bulgarian. Andrew's cool, man. Andrew's cool on my side. At the end of the day, like, it was a very, very close fight, you know. So people are gonna have different opinions on that fight, and it's been done to death on my side. So I ain't gonna fully go into it. But Andrew's a stand-up guy since I've known him. For what it's worth, I haven't really seen him talk much shit online at all. So, you know, I like Andrew. Lenny's saying, Lord have mercy, let's get back to these fight takes. I agree with Fubu. I believe he should kick rocks. Fug Rose. Tanner Austin saying, I had Danny Silver sub. He posted grappling videos on his YouTube. Bom, bom, bom. Peyton will have some success in the stand-up, but Simon gets the takedown and control. Fair enough. How are you going to tell me who my profile pick is? Because you don't look like him, bro. That's the guy who was on your live stream on UFC Mexico. He was asking about Naimov being minus 700. Peyton via big brother in. Stefan Struve. Little bro Cam can't handle it. No way Sean smokes him. Ba, 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 ba. What else we got? When I taped this fight yesterday, Peyton Talbot strike seems slow. I don't think they're slow, Mark, sorry. I definitely wouldn't agree with them being slow. I think he's a very patient fighter. So maybe you are confusing his movement when he's on the offensive. But even on the offensive movement, he just throws spinning shit and like flying knees and stuff. I'm actually very surprised you said slow, especially in the bantamweight division. If anything, I don't know, man. I definitely wouldn't say slow there. Captain Stove is saying, I heard Simon say in an interview that he wants to stay standing. Yeah, that's exactly what he said. He says that Peyton has a great ground game and he wants to stay standing. I don't really know what fights he was watching to come to that conclusion. He's obviously seen the rear naked choke from the last fight and just based it on that. But make no mistake about it, we all know Peyton Talbot is an out-and-out striker in this fight. Simon will take him down because why risk trading with a much bigger guy with a deficiency in the ground game? Yeah, but I don't think Simon has the skills to take him and hold him down. Where has he shown skills to take him and hold him down? I don't think he's shown them. Ever, to be honest. James is the GOAT. Thank you, brother. Didn't expect that to be the read, seriously. Talbot KO free system bet. Yeah. All right, boys, we'll move on now. I'll answer the chat after. It seems like that is the main event of the evening, though, right? Every motherfucker has a big opinion on that fight. So we'll see who's right come game day. Edmund Shahbazyan versus AJ Dobson. So it's funny because prior to this fight, or prior to me taping this fight, when the fight was booked, I believe that I would have a bet on Edmund Shahbazyan here. I thought that, you know, minus 180s on Edmund Shahbazyan might be a decent price for me to target him. But as I watched the fight, as I watched the tape, it's like, Edmund Shahbazyan, is he really going to win round 3? He ain't going to win round 3. He's going to lose round 3. We know that, right? He's going to lose round 3. And he's going to win round 1. So it's going to come down to round 2. And it's kind of like my C-Rod breakdown here. I knew C-Rod would win round 3. I knew Bulgarian would win round 1. I thought it would come down to round 2. And I put my faith in Christian Rodriguez, right? And I obviously thought that he could finish Bulgarian. There, I thought more times than not, he would finish Bulgarian than Bulgarian would finish him in the first round. And I still believe that. It's a lot easier to finish someone who's tired than it is someone who's fresh. So I believe that the third round favors finishing in that dynamic fight, not usually, but in that dynamic fight more often than not. And I kind of feel the same about this fight, boys. I feel like it's going to be Shahbazyan's going to win round 1. AJ is going to win round 3. Shahbazyan gasses out every fight. He's the much cleaner, much technical striker. But AJ Dobson holds some power. He's got good cardio. He's got good straight shots down the middle. And he's a very strong guy. So I don't think Edmund's just going to be able to bully him with takedowns. Kind of like what he did to Darren Stewart, even though Darren Stewart is strong. If you see Edmund Shahbazyan's fight against Darren Stewart, which I did tape leading up to this fight, because it's like the only fight that he's gone into that he's won after round 2 in his entire career. He won it via split decision. It was a very close fight. And in round 3, he was getting fucked up because he was tired. So I feel like we're going to see that in this fight. We could even see a third round finish for AJ Dobson. And it's all going to come down to the second round. So overall, I favor the plus 160 if I'm getting a toss-up between the fight coming down to the second round. It's an easy play for me. Sort of like Christian Rodriguez was a very, very easy play for me pre-fight. Just based on a similar dynamic. It's going to come down to one round, and you're giving me a plus 160. So yeah, man, I like AJ Dobson a little bit in this spot. I think that a lot of people are going to be thinking it's an easy fight for Edmund, but I don't think it will be. What else we got going? Where's the massive ground game deficiency? Yeah, exactly. I don't think there is one, to be honest. Simon will gas if he tries to take Payton down too much. Yes, I agree with you there. Because Payton definitely can get back to his feet unless he takes him. Payton probably stuffs his shorts. Simon with the bigger hog for sure. He's an African. Fair enough. Fug Rose, the like button. Yes, boys. Everyone hit the like button if you're here. I would appreciate it. We've got 530 live viewers. 359 on X. 166 on YouTube. Shout out to all my guys. Bulgarian betters are Simon betters in disguise. But it is him. Fair enough, bro. Maybe it just looks different. Sorry, James. Didn't expect you to read my comments. I just been talking stupid shit. It's all right, bro. I don't read all the comments, but I guess today I am. I'm just fucking about. Payton is accurate and has constant pressure. Might actually get a third round finish. I mean, that's his path in a lot of fights, guys, to be honest, third round finish. So it's not like a crazy thing. But I do think Simon's extremely tough. But yeah, I wouldn't rule out a third round finish for sure. Kevin Thomas, I ain't gonna read out all of your ones anymore. If Dobson decided, let me not fight like a moron, he wins easy decision. What would not fighting like a moron look like for AJ Dobson? Because I don't think AJ Dobson's I don't really think he is capable of fighting to many different game plans. He's gonna do the same shit. Come in, throw 1-2s. He might go a bit balls to the wall in round 1. And I guess what you're saying is just hold it down in round 1 a little bit. Don't go crazy. Because he has been known to, start a little bit hot. But I just feel like he's going to do the exact same thing, man. 1-2s, and, just try and win the fight based on that and some power and physicality. AJ Dobson, super underrated. I don't think he's a great fighter overall, but I think in this fight, he's probably a bit underrated just based on the cardio dynamic. Bro, say Darren Stewart again. Why do you say it like that? Or I'm going through weed withdrawals. Darren Stewart, bro. That's his name. Darren Stewart. Shout out to Darren Stewart. One of the few guys from London who made it to the UFC. Actually, my mate knows him. And it's funny, my mate looks exactly like him and knows him. It's kind of hilarious. So shout out to Darren Stewart, man. Always supporting the hometown boys. No crabs in a bucket out here. We came from a tough place. So for anyone to make it from where I'm from, nothing but respect for you. Just got a big shout out to C-Rod. Cheers. Best of luck this weekend. Yeah, man. C-Rod done his thing. And now we're on to the main event of the evening, boys. No, we're not. This most certainly ain't the main event. Let me get through this one quickly. Boys, I ain't got much to say about this one. I think Carl Williams is going to win the fight. I think he's the much better wrestler. We've seen him wrestle in every single UFC fight. I think he's going to be able to... Yeah, see? Shut up, man. That's what I was telling you, bruv. I know the score, bro. Alex Caceres. That guy ain't paying Talbert. Trying to fuck me up, bro. Anyway, yeah, man. I think Carl Williams probably going to be able to get the takedowns here. The only thing is we ain't seen Justin Tafa taken down in the UFC. No one's tried, but we ain't seen it. And we have seen him knock motherfuckers' lights out in the UFC. I had a bet on him against... No, I didn't actually. Yeah, I had a bet on him against Austin Lane, minus 200. That was... I think that was a gift, in my opinion. I feel like he knocks him out in round 1 like 70% of the time. Probably knocks him out in round 2 another 10% of the time. And then probably dies in round 3 most of the time, meaning that he should be minus 400 in that spot, right? Getting him at minus 200, in my opinion, was a gift. Look, I'll just be very short and sweet on this one, guys. Carl Williams should be able to get the takedowns and win. But if he don't get the takedowns, he's getting knocked out. Justin Tafa's a bad man. And he ain't going to have it off the feet. He ain't going to have it on the feet of someone like Carl Williams. Now, don't go and point to that Parisian fight, or sorry, that Vendera fight. It was basically Parisian in disguise. That wasn't a great look, but it was a long time ago. I don't know, whatever. Carl Williams ain't the striker of Vendera, in my opinion. I know Vendera ain't good, but I think he's a better striker than Carl Williams. I genuinely do. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'll rescind that. Like, Vendera ain't it at all, but neither is Carl Williams on the feet. I just feel like Justin Tafa shouldn't be plus 200 based on his knockout power. But he ain't plus 200. He's plus 185. So I don't know, man. Not much to say about this one at the current line, guys, other than I feel like there's a good chance Justin Tafa kind of knocks him out. Maybe he doesn't knock him out often, but maybe what I'm trying to say is that his knockout power is a bit too heavy for the market to make him a plus 200 underdog in this fight, which he was. Money's come in on him now, Justin Tafa, and I know why he's come in. I know why money's come in on Justin Tafa. Fernando's saying Padilla's from across the pond in the world's most dangerous city in the world, Juarez, Mexico. Damn, that's crazy, bro. Lucrative, as a dude who throws hands here but not professionally, he will come up. What, are you saying that you... First of all, who's that in your profile pic? Is that you, Fernando? I don't think it is. It looks like Beanie Siegel, even though I know it's not. And it looks like Aries Spears, which is another comedian who looks like Beanie Siegel as well, but it's not. And then are you saying that you throw hands on the street? Is that what you're saying? Because please tell me if that's the case. We can have some conversations. S1K saying, please let Dobson go to a decision. Brother, that is not my decision. Alex Caceres, you bastard. Dobson is too cerebral for Edmund. Nah, bruv. I don't think that's the case. I feel like if we smoke that Shahbazyan pack, it ain't going to be because AJ Dobson was too smart for Edmund Shahbazyan. I don't think that's going to be the case. I don't think he's going to outsmart him, stay on the outside, jab, jab, feint, you know, make him come into range, crack him. I don't think he's going to outsmart him. I don't think that, bro. I think Edmund's just going to gas. Did Lucrative already go over Billy? Yeah, I did, bro. You can just rewind it. Darren Stewart, the OG. Yeah, shout out to Darren Stewart, man. It's Peyton Talbot on my mother. Brother, this guy's... He says he's quitting weed, but he's coming in the chat telling me about 8 different names of one guy. That's definitely not Peyton Talbot, by the way. That's 100% Alex Caceres. Is it Alex Caceres? It's definitely not Peyton Talbot, but let me see if it's Alex Caceres. Wait there. No, it's not Alex Caceres, you know. Is that Alex Caceres? I've got Alex Caceres' face up, right? I don't think that is Alex Caceres. Let me type in Peyton Talbot and see if that comes up. Might be Peyton Talbot. You know what? It might be Peyton Talbot, you know. Looks more like Peyton Talbot. No, I think that is Peyton Talbot. Oh, shit, that is Peyton Talbot, you know. Oh, he is completely different there. What the fuck is all that about? Damn. All right, boys, what else we got going on? Main event of the evening. Biggest line movement you've ever seen. Sorry about that, boys. There's the other JB in the chat. Yeah, you already know I'm going live with my guy, Jewish Better JB, in a couple of days. We had some amazing breakdowns last week. They didn't pan out into parlays, unfortunately. We did hit one parlay. That was Jacqueline Amarim. Unfortunately, the second leg got cancelled because of Brian Battle. But yeah, our breakdowns was insane, and hopefully we can do some good stuff again this week. Yes, I throw hands in the street. And in Juarez, I run because they have guns. So Padilla did it the right way. Beanie Siegel is throwing hands, bro. All right, can you tell me who that is in your profile picture? And tell me about your last fight on the street, bro. Like, how did it go? Was it even? Did you just knock him out instantly? Did it get into grappling scenario like most street fights do? Or like, just tell me how it went, bro, because I'm interested to see how it goes down in Juarez, Mexico, or wherever you have. And that's a smart decision. You got to run if they got a gun, man. What else are you going to do? I have to go to Juarez, Mexico this year. Damn, you better be careful, bro. They packing guns out there. Just run away. Or get you a man like Fernando Rodney and he's about to stick a move. And yeah. I swear to God, it's Payben Talbert, probably an old pick. Yeah, I know, bro. Edmund will knock AJ out in round 1. That's definitely live. And for most part, that is his path, isn't it? That's his real face. He just looks like Talbot. Don't stress it, my guys. We're here for the people, man. All the other haters still come and hate. It's Fernando Rodney, MLB. Oh, okay. Fair enough, bro. So can you tell me how the fight went, bro? I'm interested. Or your last fight. Or tell me your funniest fight. Something. Just give the chat something to, like, be amused by. You know what I'm saying? Like, fights are funny when you look back on them. In the moment, they're serious. But when you look back on them, they're funny as fuck. You know, almost every single street fight I've had, out of the dozens and dozens, I don't really look back at one and go, that wasn't funny. I can literally find something funny about every single one. So come on, bro. Like, give the chat something to laugh at. It's late in most parts of the world. You know, my man JB's quit weed now. He just wants a little giggle. Pepino's saying Ribas is a good bet. Namajunas is a nutcase. She left Whitman to train with Barry in her garage. That's very funny. I will say that Namajunas still performed well last fight, even though I don't think she was all there mentally coming into that fight. So, you know, Spencer's saying, who do you rate higher, Junior or Justin? Probably Justin, just from what I've seen. But also on top of that, maybe I'm just saying that because of what happened recently. All of Edmund's losses have aged well. Dobson ain't that guy. Maybe, bro. Maybe. But he just gasses out. Like, he gasses out in every fight, right? Even against Darren Stewart. Like, Darren might have got a third-round finish if he was a little bit better. Then that loss wouldn't have aged well. Charlie Chips is saying, this guy is an idiot and a liar. I'm an idiot and a liar. Not just an idiot, boys. I'm also a liar. That's a combination. I've never thrown hands on the street, apparently. Apparently, it's all lies, boys. I sound like an 18-year-old idiot. I said idiot for a second time now. With low frontal brain development. Damn, that guy roasted me hard, boys. Shout out to Charlie Chips too. What happened to Charlie Chips 1? Kevin Thomas is saying, I got Rose at -190 and -200, but then that shit went really crazy. Yeah, that line moved very quickly, very quickly. I do feel like the line movement was warranted, but up to up to -300, I don't really know. Now the chat's going a little bit crazy right now. So I'm gonna get back to it in a minute. My man Fernando, he's come through. Shout out to my man Fernando. Yeah. So, but let's get back to the fight card, boys. Main event of the evening: Amanda Ribas versus Rose Namajunas. Damn, that went crazy for a minute. I love the chat, man. Shout out to everyone in the chat. It definitely makes this a lot more interesting for me. You know, some people do this and they don't do it live and they just record it. I guess there's some benefits to that, but man, I ain't doing this without the chat. The chat's like the best part. Even that Chippy guy up there, bro, like, he's making it fun. It's a fun thing to react to. So I ain't ever doing this without the chat. Shout out to my chat. 596 of you motherfuckers in here right now. So yeah, shout out to everyone because it's quite late and we got a lot of people in it. So main event of the evening, Amanda Ribas, Rose Namajunas. The line's gone crazy. Namajunas -300 favorite. I honestly think Namajunas is a bad matchup for Amanda Ribas. Going back and watching Namajunas' last fight, which I did 2 days ago, or maybe 3 days ago, I think it was 2 days ago, when I bet Rose Namajunas, disclaimer, I've got a bet on her at -180. I wouldn't advocate for a bet on her at -300, so I don't give a shit about telling you I got a bet on her at -180. But I do have a bet on her at -180. Going back and watching her last fight against Manon Fiorot, it was a very, very good fight. And actually, she performed better than I remembered She performed better than I remembered. I fell asleep during that event because it was on some crazy time where I was at the time, which was Australia, and I didn't watch the fight. I had a bet on Manon Farrow via points there at plus 120, and I think it was a good bet, and I still think it was a good bet. But I also think that Rose Namajunas performed very well. She didn't rock Manon Farrow, but she caught her with a couple of good shots a few times, and she looked like a weight class below, but she still fought a close decision there. It was 29-28 on two judges' scorecards, 30-27 on one judge's scorecard. I think it's fair enough to give it a 29-28. She broke her hand, I believe, in round one. So a lot of people are saying, 2-fight losing streak. She's a mental case. But in her very last fight, in my opinion, she looked good. She didn't look bad in that fight. Her takedowns looked kind of shit. But that probably just came down to physicality, really. And she couldn't get the range because of Manon Farrow's striking range. So I actually think she looked decent in that fight. And if she comes in looking like she did in that fight, in this fight, she's going to steamroll Amanda Ribas, in my opinion. She's got the much, much better boxing here. Much cleaner boxing. I think she can walk forward into range. I don't think she's going to worry about what Ribas is throwing at her, whereas she was kind of a little bit hesitant as to what a power striker in Manon Farrow. I know she's a point striker the way she fights, but she's got power in her point striking technique. She's got power, right? She's got power. She's physical. She's got a KO in the UFC already. So I think that Amanda Ribas isn't going to be able to keep Rose Namajunas at bay. I think Namajunas is going to be able to bounce in and out of range, throw a couple of shots, come over with a hook, maybe 1-2, and maybe throw a couple of head kicks as well. I do think this is a good stylistic fight for Rose. I think if you're playing Amanda Ribas, it basically comes down to what someone said in the chat earlier, which is she's a head case, right? I think most of the fight will be predicated on Rose being a head case. It won't be predicated on the stylistic matchup. And I do believe that Rose has a great stylistic matchup in this fight. I will say, though, that if Ribas gets takedown, she could go to work there. We've seen her do very well on the ground before. I think she can do well against Rose. It's not impossible. I just don't think Rose is going to let her set her feet to shoot takedowns. I think Rose is going to pump out volume. I think Rose is a bit more physical. I think Rose is, she's bigger than her. She's 5'5". She's fought at a higher weight class more often than her. Ribas is moving up and down in weight all the time. She's kind of like an in-betweener. Whereas I think Rose is a little bit more solid at the weight class, a little bit stronger at flyweight versus strawweight. And yeah, man, I just like Rose Namajunas in this fight overall, boys. So what else we got going? Fernando Rodney is saying, I've never lost 1v1. I'm 5'10", 180, no weight class lucrative. And I KO soldiers because El Paso has featuring Bliss and they thought they had hands and bam, one hitter. I might have got lucky. Brother, this guy is a legend. Fernando Rodney. He's never lost 1v1, boys. Never in his life. He's just battering bods. Mate, you got a better record than me because I've definitely lost 1v1 before. So shout out to you. And I'm a lot taller and a lot bigger than you. So shout out to you, bro. I'd like to hear some more stories because I think Fernando's the biggest legend of the chat. Charlie Chips, he's come back again. He's saying, James Bond, you've never been in any street fight. Stop talking shit. I've been in many, many, many street fights, brother. And my friends have lost their lives in street fights, which I've actually never said on camera before. And I've also been in many, many sanctioned fights in the ring. So, bro, a lot of people talk gangster online like yourself, but they ain't really like that in person. So that's just another one. That's just another person who's doing that. And Pierre is saying that he would KO you stiff. So if you want to talk shit, why don't you talk shit to Pierre in real life? Because Pierre's saying he would KO you stiff, brother. So don't be talking all online. Actually do something in real life, bro. Fubu's saying Junior needs to sort out his diet and cut to 205. When we matching, James, what do you mean matching? Matching in what regard? You wanting to throw down a lucrative? No, bro, I don't want to fight this dude. I don't want to fight this dude. Fernando Rodney saying, but I won and I am that dude. I threw hands with Fernie Garcia who fought in the UFC, who did his thing over his girl, but I did end up having to go to the hospital. This guy is a legend. This guy is a legend. James, you failed to read it was addressed to Fernando Rodney. Charlie, bro, what are you talking about? You're literally talking about me, bro. You said James. No. Come on, let's not let's not go against Fernando. He's a legend, bro. Start our own fight club. Yeah, we should actually do that. But no motherfucker would turn up to it. You know, this is internet guys. Wait, can you please let me know who you called the Billy Q fight? I mean, you can rewind it, bro. Because it was a just rewind it and listen to the breakdown because it was a what was it? It was a nuanced breakdown, brother. I didn't just say like this fight is gonna win. So it was like I'm saying Rose Namajunas is just gonna win, and I would give you it if I said that about Billy Q Zalal, but I didn't. It was a nuanced breakdown. Nick saying, I just want to take a minute and say thank you. Thank you for sharing your knowledge with us. Give a man a bet, feed him for a day. Teach a man to bet, feed him for a lifetime. Thank you, Nick. I appreciate you, brother. Yeah, that's exactly my philosophy, man. And that's why I always go off on these rants. I like to talk about the overall meta perspective with MMA betting and sports betting, not just Rose is going to win this weekend. As I always say, right? Fernando's saying he wouldn't let go of your neck once it's in. Oh, line mover. He ain't going to let go of your neck, bro. Maybe, but if not, say goodbye to your leg ligaments. So line movement's going to like try ankle lock you. You're going to try and rear naked choke him. I'm going to have to take my boy line mover there. I'm going to have to put him at like minus 150. I ain't going to lie. Challenge Lucrative in the street. Tristan, why do you want this guy to fight me in the street, bro? I don't want to fight Tristan, bro. Tristan's on the squad, bro. We need Tristan on the side, bro. He's throwing down with Fernie Garcia and all that. Look, he's trained with the Gracies and all. I ain't fighting this dude, bro. MMA line mover. Maybe I'll break your arm. My first coach used to say, always better to be on crutches than to wipe your ass with one hand. Better to be on crutches than to wipe your ass with one hand. Yeah, it's probably true. Then it's hard to wash that one hand, and God forbid you don't have that good. Yeah, all right. Well, there we go, bro. Chelsea Chandler is hotter than both. Brother, come on, bro. Namajunas, Ribas leads with the chin stand up. I'll pop a like for you, James, but fuck if I give a shit about your picks or your status. Waste of money symbols. So this guy just hates me for some reason. I don't know why. Don't hate me because I bought a supercar in my 20s. Come on, brother. That should motivate you, my guy. It's not a waste of money. I enjoy it every day. My Aston Martin was one of the best things I've ever bought. Come on, bro. Don't hate on me. Seen that video, boys, where some... I can't remember that dude. It's like, there's a video and it's like, don't hate on me if you see me driving supercars. That black dude, that American black dude. He's Tyrese Gibson. Type in Tyrese Gibson, don't hate on me. I'm going to have to play that one to Charlie Chips. Come on, Charlie, man. Wagwan. Not that. Hey, boys, we're just going crazy now. This is kind of fun. This fight isn't going a distance. Charlie Chips still can talking shit. He don't stop, bro. That's because he's never met Charlie Zelenoff. Ribas coming in hard. Bro, I got fucked up one time over some Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Didn't want to leave that Blue Eyes White Dragon. Bro, it happens, man. Bare beef back in the day over Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh cards, man. I remember I gave away one of my Pokemon cards when I was like 7 years old just to like fit in. And bro, I was so sad for months because it was like my best Pokemon card. I don't think I ever had any fights over Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh cards, but definitely a lot of moments. All right, boys, you got any questions or we're just going to fuck around with the chat? I'm happy to do it. I'm having fun, to be honest. I did say I ran from guns. Fernando's the guy, bro. He's legit the guy. Matching is a ganja ref. Oh, so when we smoking. Bro, you need to speak about... you need to speak to MMA Line Mover about that. You need to speak to Jewish Bet. I don't really smoke these days, bro. I smoked every single day of my life for like 5 years. I don't really do that too much. Let's get back to Talbert's hog. What else we got going? Can you please share your thoughts on Luke Trainer fight? Close fight, bro. I don't really think, and I'm happy to do it now since I've done the UFC breakdown. I don't really think it's a fight that I want to get involved in. I think Luke Trainer can have some decent success in the fight based on just his height, his reach, you know, based on that sort of stuff. But I also think that he can probably push a pace better than Grant Neal. So he could I think that Grant Neal can push a pace and last a little bit longer than Luke Trainer. So while I kind of want to play Luke Trainer based on the submission upside, based on the physicality upside, based on the length upside, the height upside, I don't know if I can get to him at plus 100 or something. It's not a great price. I'd have played him at plus 150 where it was at one point, but I don't know. I don't really know anymore. Please give a lean for the Ogden-Kurt fight. I want to look back. I want to look back on that a little bit later. I want to look back. I want to look deeper into tape on that a little bit. Is weed good for betting or sober better? Sober always going to be better. Like, weed ain't going to improve your betting. Definitely not. I left the kid unconscious for stealing my Pokemon as an 8-year-old. This guy's a legend, bro. He's just battering everyone. I don't hate you, James. All right, thanks, mate. I appreciate you, bro. It's all love from me, brother. It's all love from my side. Even if anyone hates me, I don't hate anyone on this planet. I'm too happy. My life is too good. My people are too set. My family's too good. I can never hate anyone. So I appreciate you don't hate me, bro. But even if you do, I still love you, brother. He's jealous of the wealth and women you have. Come on, man. Like, you can get it too, bro. You just got to grind. Balkeezy saying, greetings from Argentina. How do you handle your emotions? It happens to me that I lose a bet and I put everything I have. So what you do is you get used to it over time, my guy. Honestly, I could give you the secret sauce, but are you really gonna fix until you've gone through it 100 times? I don't know. Maybe. I think the smart people can. I don't think it's impossible. Basically, man, there is no such thing as how do you handle your emotions. Like, you've got two choices, right? You either handle them or you don't. That's it. There's no how do you do it. Like, what? Do you go and sit in a room full of incense and meditate for 4 hours and then you can handle your emotions? No. Is there like a drink you can drink to help you handle it? No. Like, you literally have two choices, man. Bro, you have two choices. You either handle your emotions, and that means you're going to make more money overall, or you don't handle your emotions and you lose it all. The choice is yours, bro. There is no secret sauce for it. You just got two choices. James equals Tyrese. At that point, I was the legend Fernando saying I was watching RN. Boys, can you hear me? Sorry about that. My mic went dead. You know what's so... Wait there. You know what's so funny? Sorry if the mic's not great now. I'm going to go in a minute. You know what's so funny is that I've just been talking absolute shit, going back and forth with the chat, and like the viewers are saying the exact same. This is a good stream. I ain't talking about no betting, nothing, and the viewers are going the same, actually going a little bit up. So shout out to everyone for being here, man. This is what it's about. Charlie's saying, who cares about the Aston Martin? You care about the Aston Martin. You said it. You are a status seeker wanting to fit in. Brother, I thought you just loved me. Now you're going back in on me. My man Charlie, bro. You need to pick a side, bro. Caleb saying, you're going to do any of the prelims? I'm going to do the prelims on my Parlay Madness live stream, which Abinish is asking about now. Parlay Madness Thursday or Friday this week. I don't know, man. I don't know. MMA Line Mover. What? JB, where are we going? Are we going on Thursday or Friday? I don't know, bro. It'll be one of those days for sure. It won't be Saturday. How do you feel about Fabian Edwards this weekend? Minus 110. We'll speak on the DMs, bro. Namajunas only subbing her if she put her on Queer Street first. Yeah, definitely. Darker, dude wins 9 out of 10 fights and co-main event. The underdog wins a lot. Good luck. Darker dude wins 9 out of 10 fights. Do you mean the darker guy wins the 9 out of 10 fights? What's that? Is Juicy J going to get KO'd? I don't know, man. It's potential. You skipped my question. Answer it again, bro. I've got a million questions. I've hit you a like, James. I don't hate you. Get it right. Brother, you're like a fucking emotional woman. You keep going up and down. You was calling me in
a 10-year-old, or was it like an 8-year-old idiot or something like that earlier. James never imagined. Kevin starts off like normal, so I read like half of it, and then I don't know it's a troll, so I don't skip it because he starts off normal. Give me 4 underdogs for this card, brother. Look at this guy, Sammy Malcolm. This guy is so greedy. He don't ask for 1 underdog or 2 or 3. He asked for 4 underdogs. Just a quick 4. Come on, bro. Tafa KO less than 20% implied probability. No, I don't actually agree with that. I think it should be a little bit higher, bro. Do you see any value on Carl Moore? I ain't going to go too early take. I ain't going to go too much on that. Audio is not bad. You don't know me, James, but all good. You know how to get, and it took me 15 years to learn the stuff you do. It took me 15 years as well, bro. It took me 15 years to learn that as well. Like, I ain't just yapping out of my mouth after 6 months of watching the sport. I've been betting on it for 15 years. What do the people want? Yeah, do you want us to go live on Thursday or Friday? Capping Service wants live right now. I say you bring live movement in. Bro, we can't do that. Not that I even would, but even if I would, we can't because we need to wait for full prop odds to be released market-wide before we do that. So, yeah. Unfortunately, we can't. That Parlay Madness stream went hard last week, though. I can't believe we didn't. With our breakdowns, we should have hit literally like 4 or 5 parlays, man. I can't believe we only hit 1. And that was because Battle got removed. Like, it could have been bigger, but that's annoying. Hey, that's proper annoying. Is what it is. What else we got? Gibson, a live underdog. I'll speak about that in a couple of days, boys. I think I'm going to go now, boys. This guy keeps on mentioning someone. Just, bro, I don't know, man. Would you play Rose at -210 if you played her at -180? Yeah, I would play her at -210. Sammy Malcolm saying, shoot higher, brother. You can parlay 2 underdogs. Going to play your 4. Okay, so I can give you 2 now. Well, I appreciate that, bro. Thanks for letting me give you 2 underdogs. Nah, we're all good, bro. All right. 2 underdogs. AJ Dobson, I've already gave you 1. I said that fight has come down to round 2. Should be fairly pick up. I'm saying AJ Dobson. What's another underdog for you? The thing is, I don't really want to give too much away. AJ Dobson and Justin Tafa, only because I've already gave them. I've already gave 2 out today. I gave AJ Dobson and Justin Tafa. Now, did I say they'd win? I didn't actually say they'd win. But did I say that they will... The lines are a little bit wide? Yeah, I did say that. So I feel like the lines are a little bit wide. They're not my favorite underdogs on the card, though. But you ain't getting the favorite underdogs on the card. I'm saving those for my members and saving before I bet on them. Mr. Pibbs laughing. I don't know why. I don't know who this guy is. I don't know who Rigo is. Obviously, it's an inside joke at some point. I don't know what you guys are on about, though. What else we got going? Same MMA line mover. Zalal +140. Later, James, take care. All right, my man, Charlie Chipper, the star of the show next to Fernando. Shout out to you, bro. James, wait. Okay, I'm waiting, brother. I'm waiting. Lucrative, you're legit, brother. Okay. That's it, boys. I'm going to go now. If you got anything else to say, then please let me know. If not, I'm about to go, boys. Last few questions, boys. Last few questions. Rico is an MMA YouTuber who got exposed. Exposed for what? Point being, Padilla gonna wreck. Gilbert Usman, Tafa Dobson. You watching the Rising card? I don't even know there was one, bro. Is this weekend? All right, I'm done, boys. I'm done. This went on for way too long, but hope everyone enjoyed it as much as I did. Shout out to all of you, and I'll be back in a couple of days on my YouTube channel with the Parlay Madness live stream, where we're trying to make you many, many winning parlays for this weekend on the UFC. Shout out to everyone. Bang.